Good morning. Tyrone and Cynthia Temple seem like an ideal couple. They're young, up and coming, and looking forward to having children. But three miscarriages have left Cynthia emotionally frail. And when her father shows up for a long awaited reunion with his girlfriend in tow, things go from foul to foul play. The play is very much an emotional roller coaster for the audience. The show deals with situations of mistaken identity, time lapses, and hidden motivations. It's set in 1937 in the quaint city of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. As the lights rise, we witness an attractive young woman in her mid-20s enter the den. It is Samantha Wellborn, Cynthia's sister.
Rise and shine, sleepyhead. It won't be long before Papa arrives.
Cynthia sits upright, looking bewildered as she stares at Samantha.
Samantha, what are you doing here? You told me to be here by 5, remember?
Samantha places the silver tray on the coffee table.
What time is it? 5:15. Why? Where's Ty? He said he had a few errands to run before Papa arrived. Paul? Yes, Paul. He's at Milroy's pub arguing political views over that stupid civil war in Spain. He'll probably be late but he promised to be here.
Cynthia rises from the sofa, moves to the window, and looks outside.
Are you all right, Cynthia?
Cynthia crosses to the den doorway, inspecting the hallway. Then she moves again to the window and lights a cigarette.
I'll get you some coffee. No. Cynthia, you look horrible. Is it because of Papa? I have to admit, this whole thing has my stomach turning somersaults. What do you say to a complete stranger? Samantha, shut up.
Samantha crosses to the window.
Ty mentioned that you're having depression. I don't give a damn what Ty says. What's going on? You tell me. Are you part of this charade? Cynthia, I don't understand. I'm not crazy. I don't understand why everyone's lying, but I'll find out.
Cynthia rushes to the doorway, but is prevented by Tyrone's presence. He is wearing a light-colored suit. What's going on here? Cynthia attempts to brush past Tyrone, but he embraces her.
Let go of me.
Cynthia struggles frantically to free herself. Cynthia, please stop!
So you can keep driving me crazy?
You've got to get a hold of yourself.
Why should I?
Sid's here. There is a moment of silence between them.
He is?
Yes. Cynthia takes a moment to digest this fact.
Outside?
Yes. The cab just pulled up a moment ago. There is a gradual calm coming over Cynthia. She noticed her sleeping attire.
I better make myself presentable, shouldn't I? I don't want him seeing me like this.
There is a moment of silence as Tyrone steadies her face. That's right. Get ready for your father, sweetheart. Tyrone releases her as she slowly walks from the den.
Is she going to be okay?
Yes, with plenty of rest and love. She'll be her old self once again.
I've never seen her like this before.
Tyrone moves to Samantha and gently embraces her. Try not to worry. Dr. Brown and I are keeping close tabs on her. What's important is that everything goes well with your father's visit.
What to say to a stranger?
Try a simple hello.
I was only 4 when he left.
Any fond memories?
Not really.
Smiling helps when you're at a loss for words. Try smiling, but don't forget to breathe. Samantha slowly leaves his embrace. She moves to the window, pulling back the curtain to look outside.
He's older than I imagined.
Tyrone moves behind her, placing his hands lovingly on her shoulders. Are you surprised?
It's been a long time, hasn't it? I'll see if there's anything I can do to help Cynthia.
Samantha departs from the den. Tyrone moves to the radio and turns it on. Entering the den, carrying a single brown suitcase, is Sidney Lewis Wellborn. It was written for Cab Calloway. Would have been a pity to ruin such a beautiful song. Ethel Waters pours her heart into it, doesn't she? Tyrone rises and greets Mr. Sidney Lewis Wellborn with an outstretched hand. Mr. Wellborn, I'm glad to meet you, sir. Well, Cynthia described you well in her letters. All good things, of course, sir. Sidney passes over this comment with just a smile. My cab driver had a difficult time finding your house. Here, let me take your suitcase, sir. Tyrone grabs hold of Sidney's brown suitcase and proceeds to depart from the den. Yes, sir, the trees cover us, and the uphill road doesn't make it any easier. Sidney stands alone, looking about the room. He notices his picture in the small frame and picks it up. In a matter of seconds, Tyrone enters the den. Cynthia has always cherished that picture, sir. To look at me now, you'd think a stranger walked into your home. Yes, sir. Aging has a twisted sense of humor, doesn't it? Oh, yes. Unfortunately, more to some than others. Would you care to sit, sir? Cynthia is getting ready and should be out in a few minutes. I feel like standing, thank you. The train and the cab had me sitting much too long. Sidney walks to the window, looking out. I paid more than I should have for this house, sir, but it was worth it. There's not a prettier lake view in all of Coeur d'Alene. As beautiful as Central Park in spring, looking from atop the Empire State Building, that is our Coeur d'Alene as well. I wouldn't know that, sir. I've never been there. Opposed to big city life or just disposition against traveling? Large cities have never appealed to me, sir. I once visited San Francisco, though. I still don't understand how people can settle for living like stacked sardines in a smelly cannery, especially when there's so much open country available here. Well, maybe you just don't like people. I'll have to give that some thought, sir. Cynthia did say you have a wry sense of humor. I wasn't aware I was being funny. Could I twist your arm by pouring you a drink, sir? Well, I promise not to struggle. Tyrone moves to a side table with several bottles of liquor and rock glasses. He begins to pour 2 rock glasses with straight whiskey. Does Kentucky suit you, sir? I'm partially to Canadian, but let's be patriotic with old Kentucky. How was your trip, sir? Reasonably well. Tyrone walks to the window, offering Sidney his drink. As they say in merry old England, cheers! I understand you are a terrific actor. Oh, I wager you didn't hear that from any critic I know. Cynthia's kept every clipping, sir, and it's a daily ritual of hers. Whenever she sees your name in print, out comes her trusty scissors. Oh, my entire career pasted between two cardboard covers. It doesn't bolster much importance, does it? Sidney raises his glass of whiskey. Here's to the critics who wrote well of me. I want you to know that we're grateful to have you with us, sir. I cannot fully express how much this means to Cynthia. I only hope these few days prove beneficial for each of you. Listen, I don't need any pep talks. I've been absent for over 20 years, and my children don't know me. You shared your concern about Cynthia, and this is why I am here. Do we have an understanding? Yes. My intentions are not to mislead anyone. My being here doesn't mean Papa's home. I appreciate your candidness. You're aware of my feelings for Cynthia, and I only want the best for her. No, I'm not aware. Truth is, I don't know you. Did you get my telegram? Yes, but it holds the same validity as reading Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. Some people say I'm acutely cynical, usually by those who shouldn't be trusted anyway. Like I said, I don't know you. I think as gentlemen, we should extend a measure of common trust to one another, and I'm not a gentleman. I'm an actor. As I'm judged by the scrutinizing eye of the critic, so do I evaluate another's character. I accept nothing on face value, for I am aware of the deceptions theatrical masks can make. Tyrone is affected by the blatant nature of Sidney Lewis Wellborn. He attempts to lighten the air by offering him more whiskey. On that note, would you care for more whiskey, sir? I don't mean to be obtrusive, but I've always believed it's best to work on a clean stage before curtain. Yes, I believe old Kentucky is growing on me. Tyrone takes a whiskey bottle across the room and pours it into Sidney's glass. Nearly lost her. We? Paul and Samantha. Cynthia's last miscarriage nearly took her. Dr. Brown advised against any new attempts. Her depression has only worsened. I thought you should know. Samantha is seen standing at the den doorway.
Papa!
Sidney slowly turns facing her. You must be Samantha.
Yes.
Sidney and Samantha stand in silence, looking at one another. I'll leave you two to get reacquainted, sir. Tyrone departs from the den.
Do you remember me, Papa?
The little girl with blonde hair who was always smiling. Yes, yes. Yes, dear Samantha. Samantha crosses to the window.
Did you have a nice trip?
I slept most of the way, but yes, it's beautiful traveling this time of year.
Are you hungry?
Not really. This drink is helping to smooth things over.
Cynthia says you live in New York City.
Yes. Have you ever been there?
No.
Oh, would you like to?
Well, it seems so far away.
Have you always lived in Coeur?
Yes.
No. You can't be a day over 21. You'll have many opportunities to travel.
Papa, I turned 25 last April.
Remembering dates is definitely my Achilles heel.
Yours is September 13th.
Impressive.
Mother always lit a candle on the 13th of September. She'd gather us around the table and tell us something about you. She said it's her gift to us from you.
That was thoughtful of her.
Why did you leave?
The long tail or the short one?
If you'd like, I can show you the garden. It's a nice place to sit and talk.
Well, let's go smell the roses then.